Welcome to the video tutorial detailing the fine-tuning for the TMX carburetor. Having completed the installation and calibration, all that remains is the fine-tuning process. Unlock the adjustment features of JetTech TMX and note first that 8 individual database settings are available to record your fine-tuning. So for instance, you would select 1 for typically a airbox fitted and perhaps a filter, and then 2 for no airbox, depending on your individual regulations and class requirements. Next, select the spark plug type, either NGK or Denso, and then the needle profile. A number of common needle profiles are available with this drop down menu. And then finally enter here the idle jet you are currently using in your carburetor. Also bear in mind that if you have not got a pump around conversion on your carburetor, then for different float height settings, different setups would have to be recorded here in the database for instant recall should you need them. First, we need to address the main jet fine-tuning. This is achieved by adjustment of this jetting factor control and the jetting factor number here represented as 541 for these weather conditions equals a main jet of a 420. Now, site your temperature and humidity sensor in the shade at ground level so as to replicate the air, humidity and temperature being used by your engine. Always site your humidity and temperature sensor in the same location, and of course it's important that it is set in the shade at ground level. Next, enter the current conditions at your location. And then, having referred to the software, in this case for these weather conditions, install the 420 main jet. Go out and complete a test session of 10 laps at racing speed. On returning to your pit area, inspect the piston crown, spark plug and exhaust header for colour and determine if the main jet setting is rich or weak. Let's assume for the purposes of this tutorial that the main jet at 420 is rich. First, enter the weather conditions just in case they have changed slightly, and then using this control dial down to the next jet, in this case the 410. Install the 410, go out and complete another 10 laps at racing speed. Returning to your pits, inspect the piston crown, spark plug and exhaust header to determine the suitability of, in this case, the 410 main jet at these weather conditions. Now you simply repeat this process, either selecting a richer or weaker main jet, and very quickly, following a short number of sessions, you will establish the main jet jetting factor, in this case represented by the number 530. The next task is to repeat the same process, but this time in selecting the perfect needle clip position. This is the needle clip factor control here, and at this moment in time the 470 figure displayed. Again, repeat the same methodology, enter the current weather conditions, and in this case move the clip to the P3 position. Go out and complete a test session, this time concentrating on the mid-range performance and acceleration, which of course is controlled solely by the needle profile. And again, for the purposes of this demonstration, let's say you establish that you need to go one clip leaner. Therefore, dial down until P2 is displayed. Move the needle clip position to P2. Go out and complete another test session, and on returning to the pit, discuss the mid-range performance with your pit crew, and also of course examine the piston crown, spark plug and exhaust header for colour. By this simple process you will quickly establish the needle clip factor that perfectly matches your engine, carburetor and exhaust combination. Having completed this process, you can then lock the software, and next time you return to any racetrack, you simply enter the weather conditions and the ideal needle clip and main jet are displayed. You can further enhance the tuning by using JetTech Flowbench. Just a quick word about this display here and washer. If you choose, because of the accuracy of JetTech TMX, you can use a washer under the needle clip. Now the washer is half the thickness of the distance between the clip positions, and when the message and washer is displayed here, simply place the washer underneath the needle clip. This effectively gives you half needle clip positions, and when and washer is not displayed, of course you would remove the washer. Such is the accuracy of JetTech TMX, and as I mentioned earlier, it can be further enhanced by using JetTech Flowbench. With JetTech Flowbench you can independently adjust the rate of change of the needle clip and or the main jet with air density. To demonstrate the feature of JetTech Flowbench, I will move the main jet adjustment to the maximum figure of +20 and press the higher air density cycle of JetTech Flowbench. You will note the air density rising, indicated by this bar, and of course the main jet changes in line with an increase in air density. And as you can see, the maximum main jet with the rise in air density is predicted by the software to be a 490. Now reset, and let's readjust the main jet control back to 0 and complete the same exercise. Again, JetTech Flowbench simulates a rise in air density, but as you can see, instead of 490, 440 is displayed. Now using JetTech Flowbench, you can exactly match the tuning requirements of your particular engine, exhaust and carburetor combination. JetTech Flowbench is particularly useful for heavily modified engine and exhaust combination. In 99% of cases, JetTech Flowbench can remain set at 0, as the software perfectly matches the air and fuel flow characteristics of your carburetor, engine and exhaust combination. However, as demonstrated, JetTech Flowbench is a powerful adjustment tool and should not be used by an inexperienced tuner. However, a carter who has, say, exhaust gas temperature information or maybe lambda sensor information available to them can utilize the power of JetTech Flowbench to perfectly match the air and fuel flow characteristics of their carburetor. And that concludes this short tutorial on using JetTech TMX.